Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the world of the International Fab Talks. International Fab Talks is all about connecting with the right kind of individuals across the world from different walks of life. It could be a professional, it could be a simple housewife, it could be just you too who's viewing this video today. My dear friends, we'd love to have you here, share your journey with us, and to inspire us in the right way, to make the world understand that you are really important on this planet. And yes, we have wonderful people who are joining us. We have several people who are joining us on this Fab Talks to make us understand that life is beautiful and that we really can make it even more better for ourselves and for others by networking, bonding, and collaborating with one another. We love to connect with the right kind of professionals, to request them to share their time on our platform such that you could derive a lot of inspiration. You could get an idea as to what you want in life, whom you should connect in life with, or who are the right people you can get along with regard to your personal life, or it could be your profession as well. Or if you need any professional services, you could get connected on the International Fab Talks, connect with our guests, and of course, live the best that you can on this planet. So dear friends, join us to welcome our celebrity and guest. She is none other than Dr. Padmini Vedula, joining us all the way from Hyderabad, Telangana, India. She's a lovely, warm-hearted individual. We'll get to know more about her. Join us now to welcome our celebrity guest. She's here with us. Let's say hello to her and begin this journey. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea. I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for being humble and down to earth. We like people who are down to earth and humble, who are egoless, who could connect for the right reasons. And I think we all should learn a lot from Dr. Padmini Vedula. She is really a person who you could connect just like a friend or somebody who you knew from a very long time. So that's what I felt when I connected with her. Let's begin this journey in a more profound way to understand her and her professional expertise. Dear ma'am, I go ahead and share your profile and we begin the session. Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am. So friends, as I earlier mentioned, that I do this work on this Fab Talk session by sharing all the profiles of our celebrity guests at the very start itself to make you understand the importance of the celebrity at the start itself. And if you feel you are interested in the celebrity's profile, you could sit along the entire session and get to know what the session is all about and how it could be of interest to you and your family members, friends, etc. So friends, I go ahead to share the profile of our celebrity guest. She is none other than, as I earlier mentioned, Dr. Padmini Vedula. Padmini Vedula is a renowned business excellence strategist and an accomplished author. That's really nice. Apart from being a business excellence strategist, she's a great accomplished author as well, a wonderful TEDx speaker. That's wonderful. That's great. With a profound mission to inspire entrepreneurs and business owners. That's great. To embrace excellence as an attitude in their business journey. So let's keep this really, glowing within us. We should have this positive attitude. And to get that positive attitude, we should connect with the right kind of coaches, mentors, in order to understand how to take our business further or how to take our entrepreneurial journey further. So we have here with us Dr. Padmini, who's going to share how she's going to enable us to get into that track where we could really put our business on track and take it ahead further. She has a remarkable career of over 2 decades, spanning over 2 decades. That's really nice, across banking, insurance, edtech sectors. That's really wonderful. Dr. Vedula has recently embarked on her entrepreneurial venture. Dear friends, today I'd like to add more to the profile of our celebrity guest. She's none other than Padmini Vedula. She is the founder of Tritiksha Business Excellence Consulting. And she's done very well till date, and she's taken it further ahead, wherein she channelizes her rich expertise to organize and to coordinate all the various activities with regard to business. She's enabling many business organizations and startups, towards achieving sustainable growth, profitability, and operational brilliance. That's really nice. Her career is marked by a consistent track record of success in this dynamic and highly competitive market. I think the market is very competitive and highly dynamic, and you really need to scale up your business. And if you need to scale up your business, you need the right kind of mentor. And I'm sure Dr. Padmini will help us in understanding how we could take our business or entrepreneurial journey further ahead. She's also into total quality management, business operations, business development. That's really nice. And focusing on strategic planning. She does it in a very holistic way to make the client understand how one could derive a lot by just putting the dots right or joining the dots in the right way. That's really nice. She possesses extensive knowledge in risk management, or she focuses more on risk management, customer operations, knowledge transfer, mentoring, and soft skill training, making it an invaluable accountability partner for organizations. To put it right, like if you'd like to connect with her, she'll make you feel that you have selected the right person, or you are coordinating and connecting with the right person. She takes accountability for the work that she does. She's very prompt with her work, and she really serves the people with the right kind of attitude. So the right kind of attitude coming from your mentor, your coach, is really all that we look forward to. Here we have with us Dr. Padmini. We'll get to know more about her directly from her, my dear friends. Let's begin with the flow. Dear ma'am, thank you so much for being here today with us. You have a brilliant profile, very inspirational, and you have over 2 decades to your credit with regard to various sectors, starting from banking, insurance, etc., etc. That's really great. I've shared something from my end, but I would love you to share it from your end as well. And many of your friends, known, unknown people too, would love to hear it from you. Who is the real Dr. Padmini Vedula? How would you like to define yourself today for all of us on the International Fab Talks? Over to you.
Thank you, Andrea. And I must really thank you for that overwhelming introduction that you gave about me. Thank you so much. And if you ask me, how do I define myself? I would say I'm a simple person. You will see a girl next door in me very much. However, I'm somebody who is extremely courageous, I would say, with clear mind, clear thought process, and I take risks. And I have that ability to take risks. You can say calculative risks, but I do not really get scared taking risks. And I mean, one thing I would say that I'm somebody who like to look at opportunity in everything that I see around me, observe around me, do or learn, so that I can be a better version every second minute, every single minute I'm trying to make myself a little better. So otherwise, on the whole, I'm an extremely simple human being. I keep my life very, very simple.
That's really nice, ma'am. You've explained that so well, very crisply. You shared that with us. That's really great. You've mentioned you're a risk taker and you love a simple life. Now, you've been in the professional zone for more than 2 decades. Now, you've taken up an entrepreneurial venture.
Yeah.
Maybe know more about it as to what is it that made you enter into this zone of starting up something where you could help others. That's really, you see the beauty of your talent, the beauty of your expertise, the beauty of your experience and wisdom. You don't want to keep it with you. You want to share it with the world. So I want you to unravel the mystery of what you are into and what is it that you founded for the world to connect with you and to understand how they could scale up certain things in their lives, or how they could really, bridge the gap from the known to the unknown, or the unknown to the known. Over to you.
Yeah. In fact, India, for a very long time, I would say right from my younger years, while I was in my graduation, I had a deep desire to do something back for the society. And during my college days, I was part of this NSS camps and all. I was part of social, but I wanted to do something beyond where it is visible, where the impact is visible in life, in my own life, and people around me. So that kept lingering in my head for a very long time. Then I took up jobs in corporate. So after 20 years of corporate life, all I had been doing in those 20 years is garnering experience in different things. Then there was a point in life I felt that now I think it's enough what I have garnered. I think now I should start applying my knowledge. And if that knowledge is not only helpful for me and for people around me, that would be something that I always wanted to do. Make sure that the lives of people around me is definitely better. So when I was looking for that, I wanted to see something which I am skilled at, where I can help people with my existing skills, and also where there is a visible gap. So what I figured out around me, for that matter, my husband is an entrepreneur. My father-in-law is also an entrepreneur. He has been an entrepreneur now that he is leading a retired life. So what I have seen with people like them and many more people who are running small, medium sizes businesses and my own companies that I worked, there is definitely a gap. And the gap I see is that there is knowledge, there is application of knowledge. So these two do not go hand in hand most of the times, right? And there is definite need of what you know and what has to be applied. It's nothing but our industry and academia coming together. And I also saw that many entrepreneurs do everything on their own, but they really don't take help from others, which could have actually accelerated their own business journeys, which could have accelerated them to conduct their business in much better way and get their desired goals. So I saw an opportunity. In fact, more than an opportunity, it was a gap that I could see, which I felt could be an opportunity, right opportunity for me, because all these years I had been able to garner a lot of experience around, strategic planning, then customer operations, doing sales, which is business development part of it, running an organization, business operations. So all through my roles in various organizations, it had helped me to gain a lot of knowledge and application of it. So I thought if I'm able to bring my knowledge and help these people, say small, medium-sized entrepreneurs, at times micro entrepreneurs also, where they don't have any kind of a support in terms of advice and suggestions. So it will be very good. And once a business is thriving, that is a direct reflection to the GDP, to the economy. So it thrives. And the other day I was listening to one of the podcasts by a very, very famous person, the person who has founded the Scient Foundation. It's headquartered in Hyderabad. So that gentleman says, a seasoned gentleman says, every year our country needs almost 50,000 entrepreneurs to make India a better place, a more competitive place. So I absolutely, support his idea. And if I can be a small catalyst or a small speck of my work can also influence, help businesses grow phenomenally, I think life well lived for me.
Yes, dear. I really love the way when you shared that. We need more of entrepreneurs in India, and we'd love to see India as a developed country very soon. I really agree with this, and it really makes me feel good when you shared that, and to just make the world understand that, yes, being an entrepreneur is a beautiful journey, and getting the right kind of mentors, the right kind of coaches, that would really make it more better. Now, ma'am, I would like you in simple terms to explain this for us, ma'am. Business Excellence Strategist. What is this? If you could just explain this for the layman. Now, for me, I don't come from a corporate background, so I will not have that much of knowledge. But there are people like me who don't have the knowledge, but they would like to gain it and they want to enter into the corporate sector. So for us, if you could just simplify it in a simple common man's language, what is this? Like Business Excellence Strategist. Over to you.
All right, business we all understand. Excellence we all understand. So when we bring this excellence, we have to understand that excellence is not perfection at all. The aim is not to be perfect, because the moment you feel that you have perfected something, you have reached perfection, that's the end of the story. So excellence is continual improvement, just improving over a period of time. You raise your bar ahead of others, so much ahead of others that others can't catch up with you. So it is equally applicable while you are in a job. It's equally applicable while you are running your own business, or in fact, even if you are not a business owner, but in your own personal life also, if you are able to improve yourself, improve your operations, improve your living, or anything which has to do with you, that is the process of excellence. So now coming back to the context of business, if you ask a business owner, how is he running his organization? He says, yeah, acha chal raha hai, it's going good. Yeah, all well by the grace of God, so far so good. But at the bottom of his heart, he knows that there are few things which are not running well. And he definitely needs to work on them. When we say work on them, any issue, any issue in the business cannot be taken care of in one day. So it requires a plan, how to go about it. So the bigger form of a plan, in layman terms, the bigger form or a better or a bigger version of plan is strategizing. That is, you're trying to see what kind of plan has to be made to improvement, what kind of resources are needed, what kind of time frame has to be looked into. All this put together, you are making a small or a big plan, which is nothing but strategizing, right? So what do? I try helping the companies to become better. In a way, they become their best, but I help them go through the journey of improvement, in which I help. In fact, my job or my role is to put up a plan. If we say, sir, how do you want to go about? it's no charm, because since he or she was not able to think much, that's where I come into picture. So I try to give them a plan how they can improve from the point they are and how to move ahead. To give you a simple example, if somebody says that I've been doing pretty well, but I think for the last 2 months or 3 months, my revenue has slightly plateaued. I don't see a growth in my revenue, which is nothing but the top line. So my job is to pick up that problem from the business owner and put up a plan to see how can we progress on it, gradually take it forward. Because any jumps, anything, we should be progressive in nature. Even if it is just linear, also does not help. Or if it has a very erratic kind of a jump, also it's not sustainable. So I help them to draw a plan how to improve what their problem is, how to convert that into an improvement plan and take it forward. Hence, I call myself, since nobody is reaching the perfection, but we are trying to reach that standard of excellence where they feel, wow, nobody could have done this. So that's excellence, which is maybe at times far beyond being perfect also. So perfection is not our goal. Just improving, small daily improvements is what we do. So that is business excellence. And since I help them plan it well, make it time bound and result bound, I say I'm a strategist. So in a nutshell, I help companies, small or big, to work smarter, not harder, by putting up
Brilliant.
plans for them.
Excellent, excellent. I love this. I love the way you said it's not perfection, it is improvement. There's
Yeah.
nothing called as perfect. It's always improving and trying to be the best version of ourselves. Again, finding more ways to improve ourselves, that's really nice. I really like the way you put that. Now, dear ma'am, I'd love you to share about the story behind you becoming the founder and CEO of Tritiksha Business Excellence Consulting Services. I would love to know this. What inspired you to come out and start up this beautiful organization and help people around? If you could take us deep into the story, and how is it impacting the lives of people, and how can the society derive benefits by connecting and coordinating with you and networking or collaborating with you for the right reasons? Over to you.
Oh, thank you for that question. Andrea, as I mentioned to you a while ago, deep inside me, I wanted to do something back for the society. So after 20 years of my corporate journey, I felt there is a gap in the in this business ecosystem, and my skills can be a great opportunity for somebody who is looking for that kind of a support, an advisory support. So that's where I thought I should start off now. And I kept my mind very clear in terms of starting an entrepreneurial journey, because it feels nice. You are your own boss. You call yourself founder, CEO. LinkedIn में काफी अच्छा, glamorous लगता है. But deep inside, I know how big companies are made. So I was very clear from day one, if I'm getting into something, say my own business, it should be definitely asset light. So that anytime I can start off, anytime I can scale it, it's easier to scale because we keep our costs low. And then if any day I would want to take a successful exit, it should be easier for the one who takes over after me, either my successor, or if I want to look at somebody as a part of my exit plan. So that was that much I was very clear. Then I found that consulting is the best way, because we do not take anybody's mind share so much. I don't have to really sit in front of a person and keep working with them all the time. So most of the time I do work remotely, and I also visit clients. So the story behind the name Tritiksha, I'm sure you might find it little tongue twisting also. That's again, that's again, I would say a small trick behind it. I wanted people to take attention to it. At least somebody looks at it for 10 seconds and then pronounces it. So I'm liking when somebody spends time around it. But otherwise, the actual word, it's a Sanskrit word. It's the foundation is a Sanskrit word. In Sanskrit, the word Titiksha means endurance. And in business, a business owner has to have the ability to endure any setbacks, any ups and downs, which makes him resilient. And through this business excellence consulting, I help the companies on three core things. Number one, how to make their operations better so that they are able to reduce their costs, reduce the wastages and all. Number two, I help them to make their processes better. I look at process excellence, streamlining the process. And number three, I help them manage risks. So ye ho gaya three. So instead of Titiksha, I slightly modified it to say Tritiksha, And I found it a little modern also because Tritiksha, I don't know how many would have resonated, but Tritiksha, people take deep attention and they look at it. Hence the name Tritiksha. And so far, with all my consulting assignments that I have, we have been, when I say we, me, the client, and the client's teams have been able to see visible changes, be it in the terms of revenues, be it in terms of collecting their money back from the customers. Because at times for entrepreneurs, you know that money is held in the market, it gets stuck. Customers don't pay. I mean, my clients' customers don't pay them on time. So we have been able to recover. We have been able to open up new verticals, expand teams, improve productivity. So that way, it has been a very, very fulfilling journey so far. So my clients and their teams have been really instrumental in making my own journey extremely fulfilling. So through this, I'm helping them. And in return, I'm learning as much as possible about their business because I'm industry agnostic. I serve multiple sectors at the same time. So any new sector, any new company that I get into, I have to understand their company, their DNA well. That's where the clients and the teams have been really helpful. So this has been an extremely good effort, a collaborative effort, I must say, so far.
Excellent, excellent, ma'am. I really love the way you've shared the story and the journey behind it. And why did you select this particular word, Tritiksha? That's really nice. And as you mentioned about endurance, you speak about the real truth, where most of the business owners or entrepreneurs, they don't want to accept something like that. But that's the
Absolutely.
reality.
That's one of my challenges. Initial days, that's the challenge that I have with any business owner because they feel they are on the right track. Why do they really need somebody from outside to give any support? I fully agree.
Yes, dear. What I see in you is you are a person filled with practical wisdom. And I
Thank
love
you.
that. That's really nice.
Thank you so
Because
much.
to get to understand the reality of what you're doing or what you're into, making the customer or the client understand the pros and cons, making them really go into it and a reality check first, and then how to improve on that. When you work together, as you said, you, your client, and their team, the team together works. That's really nice, ma'am. Now, I'd love to know, like, who has inspired you to take over this journey? Like, see, most of the women, like who I know, wouldn't want to go in so deep,
Mm.
like, going all the way down to bring up or scale up somebody's business. Like, it's not easy. It's a tough job. But you might have been inspired by somebody or the other. So who has inspired you to enter into this field of helping others to grow in their business?
For that matter, since my childhood, uh, my dad had a profound impact on me. And he had been in government service. And you know, when it says government service, there are unions. But he had been a union leader while he was serving the government. So he had been a great problem solver. He is a well-learned and extremely knowledgeable in problem solving. So probably I think I have inherited some of his genes because in my current, I would say my role, I most of the times I resort to problem solving. So that came naturally to me. And clarity of mind, being courageous. I must say that most of his genes I had inherited. I didn't probably, I mean, most of the best things, although my sister also has her share of best things from my parents. But yes, he has definitely had a profound impact. And if you see, women getting into entrepreneurship, there are several women around me whom I know in the communities that I'm associated with have been doing wonderfully well. And if you ask me, in my own family, I have seen my younger sister embracing entrepreneurship much before me. She had been a housewife for a long time. Then, when her kids grew up, she decided that she wanted to do something, but definitely from the comfort of her zone. She turned her passion of cooking and baking into a real time business. Now she is a thriving baker in the city of Calcutta, that's Kolkata. So she also remains my inspiration till date. And whenever we talk more about our businesses than anything else in our lives. So that's something that has been a great support. Otherwise, I have an ecosystem of women around me in the communities, as I said, whom I have seen doing really better. And I'm also associated with a couple of communities which believe in helping women folk. For example, I am a part of this community called a huge community called Iron Lady. And it's a very, very wonderful community of 9,000 women. And the best thing is it is being run by a man. In the world where we do not feel that man could help women, he and his wife, his name is Mr. Rajesh Bhatt and his wife, Miss Suvarna Hegde, they have created such a huge ecosystem that I can't help but getting inspired myself looking at their success stories. If you ask me, I get inspired daily by those 9,000 people. And many of them are entrepreneurs. So what best I could have asked for. So that's my go-to team, which if I need any help. And of course, my father remains my go-to man even till date. Even if I have some personal problem or anything that I want to check with him, that I have a problem with this client, what do you think are the other ways? He quickly gives it. Although he's not actively into any of my assignments, but he says that this is the angle that we have to look at. Go check for this. You do your homework first, then talk to him. So I have a lot of inspiration every day around me.
Excellent, ma'am. I really love the way you shared it. You've given importance to your dad. You've observed him very well as a young kid. That's what I understand. And even you love your sister and you adore her for the good work that she's done. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure she'll be very happy today because you shared about her journey as well. You've made her proud today on this platform. As you said, like she's very successful now. And you've also mentioned that when you talk to her, like mostly you are connected with how to take it ahead, like instead of the gossip, family gossip, or normal things that we always do, the sisters, you see. So you are elevated to the next level, wanting to see each other rise above and help one another. That's really nice. I really like the way you put it. I think all sisters and brothers should focus on building each other. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Now, dear, I'd like to know, how does a day begin for you? Or if I could put this, how does a typical day for you look like? How would you explain that for us?
It's very simple. First of all, I'm a regime-driven person. You can say
Mm.
that. So I have time slots for everything in my life, and I really go by it. I really get little cheesy if I'm not able to adhere to it someday. So my day starts pretty early, around 4:30 in the morning. So once I get up, the first 1 hour is my holy hour. That's my time. And I cannot compromise for anything in this world. And this has been my regime for several years now, getting up early. So in the first hour, I devote some part of it for my workout, then little time for reading something. And the last part of it, I try and make notes for the day. What should be my to-do list, or if there are any reflections, I go on to it. And then after that, I get into my household chores, very simple. And I leave for my work around 8:45, 9-ish. And from then I'm fully on skates till 6:37-ish in the evening. So once I come back again, I get say 35, 14 minutes for myself where I catch up with my grown-up kids. I would say both of them are teenagers. So to see what's happening in their life, if there is something that we need to collaborate, or we need to, help each other into it. And before I go to bed, I try and reserve say 15, 20 minutes to read something. That's all. I have a very, very simple routine. And since I am able to think clearly and think fast, I've been able to compartmentalize. And while I'm at work also, my priority list is very clear. I go by the priority list. Whatever has to be accomplished that day, I try and finish. If rest of them can wait, they wait. And I try to finish it in my other blocks of time. So basically, I work in sprints. And not just that, I take 2 power naps in a day. Let me tell you that. That has been another um secret sauce, which helps me to run like a horse all through the day, since 4:30 in the morning till 9:30 in the evening. So that's how it has been, absolutely.
Thank you. We appreciate your thoughts and views with regard to change that is really required in the right way. We'd love to know, how do you maintain your private work-life balance? Because many of us go down over there, or we lose, or we don't know how to balance it in the right way. So you, being a wonderful professional, a great mom, how do you balance it in the right way? If you could share the tips to all of us, it would really be nice.
Thank you. I mean, as I said, I'm very, very organized. Hence, it helps me to balance both my work and personal life. And my kids are also of great help. If they know that I'm not able to do something, they really don't mind. They fold up their sleeves and come to my aid. So that way, I found great support in my children. Even while they were young, I had to travel out of city and all. They used to manage on their own. They would never, I mean, throw any tantrums at their grandmother, or I mean, put her to any kind of inconvenience. So that way, that's a great blessing. And I generally plan my things really well in advance. At my work front, I draw my plan for the entire month. By the second of every month, I generally have my plan in place. Then then I get it down for a week's time, and then on a daily basis. And at the end of the day, as I said, towards the evening, when I have my 15-20 minutes before I actually go to bed, I try and reflect if I've been able to finish what is supposed to be finished for that day. So that's how I've been able to slightly monitor also, monitor my plan, how far I've been able to move. So that way, I have a direction. Whenever I'm not able to do something, I know when to pick it up. So I mean, that has been helpful. And as I said, my clients are also very, very accommodating. In case I say that I need a day more in sending this information across, or sending or presenting this report to them, all of them have been extremely accommodative. So that way, I'm able to manage both my work and my personal life, my responsibility as a mother and wife as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. As you mentioned, there's a lot of flexibility connected with the people around you. You are flexible as well, and the people, your family, as you mentioned, your children are very supportive, and your clients as well. That's really very nice. Ma'am, from the experiences that you have almost around about 2 decades of, almost, you have crossed 2 decades of experience till date. Now, I'd like to ask you, till date, personally me, I can't understand this concept of smart work and hard work. To me, I'm old school. It is the hard work for me, but I love to be a smart worker. How do we try to understand what is smart work, what is hard work?
In fact, if you ask me, both of them coexist. Work is work, whether you want to do it the harder way or you want to do it the smarter way. For example, earlier we used to make to-do lists in books. I mean, even today there are people who write them with color pencils, color pens, mark them, put bookmarks and all. But there are people who use organizers. They use their notes in the mobile. They have apps to it. So what we are doing. But if you want to really save your time on any particular thing, if you think you are spending too much time on any given thing, if there is a better way of doing it, an easier way of doing it to save your time, effort, and resource, I think in that particular task or that context, you have to move on to something smarter using taking help. It could be a gadget, it could be delegating it to somebody, because if you delegate your job to somebody junior to you or somebody who is good at it, also is a smart work. Everything doing all by your own need not necessarily a smart work. It's hard work basically. But if you think, when you understand that you have limited time on this earth and you have lot of things you would like to accomplish, I think you will have to take this smart way. Hence, if you see Tritiksha Consulting, we help companies work smarter, not harder.
Wow, I love this. That's great. That's beautiful. And I would love people to connect with you because you see, you speak from experience. You speak from exposure. You've been exposed to a lot of, you know, situations in your life, in your professional work. So you know what kind of situations and how to tackle them, what is the right way. So experience, exposure, all this does matter when you would love to connect and you'd like to build your business or get the help of someone as ma'am to build your business.
Yeah.
What is it that I could share that? I mean, from my end, I could share that. I could understand that from that point of view, what you've been sharing. So that's really nice to have you share all of that, dear. Now, I'd like to ask you something very, very personal. Is there something that scares you? So I have trust issues, to put it very simple. I'm scared. So what about you? What scares you, ma'am?
I mean, a couple of things definitely scare me. Number one, people who are negative. I call them energy vampires. I try to stay as far as possible from them. And number two, what scares me is, what if I do not have clarity on something, because I take a lot of pride in having clear thinking. So I am absolutely scared. What if I am not able to think clearly on that matter? I get stuck. So as far as I'm able to think clearly, I'm absolutely happy. When I'm not able to think something on any particular thing or any particular aspect, that's where I start getting little worried. Then I know I have my own ways of getting out of it. I take a small break or listen to something of my, of my choice, and they come back. So that's momentary, but yes, that definitely ticks me off. People who are negative ticks me off, and my inability on any day to think clearly ticks me off.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. Now, dear, I'd like you to give a wonderful suggestion or maybe a message for the younger generation. If we call it advice, they won't like it. So
Oh,
it's either
yes.
a suggestion or it's either a message from Dr. Padmini Vedula to all the youngsters out there, Gen Z. It's for you. Over to you, dear.
Thank you. In fact, there are a lot of things that we got to learn from them. Our generations got to learn. But yes, one thing they definitely have to be very, very careful about is today, there is a lot of information overload. So they are consuming a lot of content in several ways. Only thing is that they will have to understand what is wrong, what is right for them. The moment they are able to understand, they'll be able to take the right kind of decisions. Only the sense of decisiveness, if they are able to cultivate in themselves, either intrinsically or through the help of their elders, parents, or mentors, I think that will do a lot of good in their lives. Rest all, they are so much informative, they are so much advanced. I don't think they really need any kind of an advance. Only thing is, staying on the right course will get them wherever they want to.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that crisp one. You've really given it so well and so clearly. Like, people would, the youngsters would really understand what you've just shared, like, to understand what is right and what is wrong. They have a lot of information overload. And you also praised them at one point of time, like, they are doing their very best and they are they have all of it. Only thing they have to make the right kind of choices, I think.
Yes,
Yes, or
yes,
to be on the
yes.
right track. That's really nice. Thank you so much, dear. Now, ma'am, we'll talk something about something different.
Okay.
It's like about the red flags. It could either be in our workplaces or it could also be in our personal life with regard to our family and friends. We talk about red flags. You are also a posh expert, if I'm not mistaken. So if you could enlighten us or create awareness on this platform with regard to red flags, many of us, including me, we were unaware of the red flags in our lives till it was too late. So how would you define or how would you clarify things for us today with red flags? What are red flags actually? Over to you.
Andrea, for that matter, I would say till date, I've been extremely fortunate that I never had red flags. Be it at my work, in all those brilliant companies, world class companies that I've worked, always there was an open communication between me and my supervisors, between me and my peers, between me and my juniors. So I never found any red flags neither in my own life, or in case if there were any disturbances, I would go and talk to them. If somebody is not able to express himself or herself, there were instances where I had gone to their supervisors and said that, look, this seems to be a trouble. Can you do something about it? So I had been able to do that. So if you ask me in my own life, be it my professional life or personal life, seriously, there are no red flags. I don't know if I don't look at them that way, or something really didn't happen. So that way, if you ask me, there are no serious red flags that I keep even reflecting today. In my personal life, here and there, little nok jok to chalta hi hai. Disagreements with the spouse, disagreement with the kids, at times with the elders at home, be it parents or parents-in-law. So that's, anyways, I've taken it as part and parcel of my life. But red flags, absolutely, somewhere I don't think I've given it any importance in my life. At least I have not come across. To be very frank, I don't know if I've answered your question well, but I don't have them any at this point, till date at least.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing it from your end as well. And if at all any of you are facing any type of turmoil in your workspace or personal life, please identify what is triggering you, or is it a pattern that is, being Repeat it, stay safe, and get help from the nearest people
Yeah.
who really, or your well-wishers, or maybe from the right kind of professionals or the right kind of mentors. Stay safe, everyone, either professional or personal. Now, dear, I'd like to ask you about your accomplishments. You've accomplished so many things. You are connected in different sectors with regard to the corporate world. So, amongst all of that, your greatest achievement till date, which you feel, wow, I've done this and I feel extremely proud. Over to
Yeah, while I was in my corporate life, I had several laurels to my credit. So, I mean, that was one era, I would say, which is uh, now my past, a glorious past history. Yes, if I have to really pat myself on my back, it's for three things, I would say. Number one, I always wanted to have a doctorate degree. So, although I didn't take a long route, but I found definitely a better route for a working professional. So, I could earn my DMS certificate, which is the doctorate certificate in risk management, the topic of my choice. That was one important accomplishment. And number two, I always wanted to write. Although I'm very active on LinkedIn, I write a lot of articles. I have a couple of white papers to my credit in my earlier professional life. I have also penned down a book in the genre of romance because romance is something that people don't talk about. But if in that category, that's the second biggest category that people read. The first one being the self help, the second one is romance. So I tried my hands on it and got great appreciation, lot of likings. So that's one, the second one, and the third, and definitely a life changing accomplishment for me is starting my own entrepreneurial venture, which is Tritiksha Consulting. So that I'm extremely proud of, which I would want to scale it up so that I can leave a legacy behind, help many more like me in their journey. So these are my till date the best accomplishments, if you ask.
excellent, excellent. I love the way you put all of that, ma'am. And you are also a wonderful author, right? You're an author as well. And you've written on this topic, romance. And that's like quite interesting and magical.
The book, if you're able to see, the title is In Pursuit of True Love. This is a story of an extremely well learned, ambitious lady in a corporate atmosphere who gets into a wrong relationship. Although she knew that over a period of time that was wrong, but she had the guts to get out of it. She had two such instances and she could get out of them and create a life on her own. So, because see, as a woman, many times it's a taboo that you always need a support, you need a companion to lead rest of your life. But if you have a wrong relationship, you're not with the right kind of a partner, you don't find the right kind of the warmth that you want. So it's always a good idea to come out of it and lead your life. So the entire story revolves around it. So it's simple, yet very, very close to our lives, what we see around. So that was my debut book. And now I have started writing something serious. I wanted to see whether will I have any kind of buy-in from people whom I don't know at all. And I would say when you look at the book, I'll send you a copy of that, Andrea. You would love it. So many of them, many of people whom I do not know, have written lot of things about the book as a praise. So which means that somewhere they are able to connect with the story, relate with the story. So that gives me a sense of fulfillment to write more. Although I would want to continue in this category, but I know that I have equal responsibility to transfer my knowledge that I have in my own core competencies like strategy, quality, and risk management to bring that in book form in practical ways which they can quickly use without making it very, very complicated so that they can quickly read and apply. So I'm working on such books now. But definitely this made me the author. I would say this will always remain close to my heart.
In pursuit of true love.
Yes.
Excellent.
Because every human being, right from his birth to his death, we always look at somebody in our lives who can give us that unconditional love. Many get it in the form of, I say, wife, husband, mother, father, children, but we still look for that unconditional love. But we forget that we are also supposed to give that unconditional love to the other person in order to reciprocate.
That's excellent, ma'am. You're a person with many hats that I get to understand that now. That's wonderful. You're a great author as well. And I love the topic, you've chosen the topic of romance, and the way you put that, she was into a wrong relationship and she had the courage and guts to come out, remodel her life again. Yes,
Yeah.
that's really nice. I like this. I think it resonates a lot with most of the people around, irrespective of gender. Many of them could resonate. If you are in a
Yes.
bad relationship, either in a professional one or personal one, it's time to jump out of it, rise like a phoenix, and find people who could really mentor you in the right way, guide you in the right way, or respect you in the right way. It's respect towards the end, either professional or personal. Where you're respected, there you have to stay. According to me, and that's what I feel. And ma'am, now I really love to know more about one very important aspect called as mental health. Most of us, including me, had no clue about it when we were in school. What is mental health? How our parents treated us, how our teachers spoke so rudely to us. We didn't understand the importance of mental health at that time. But today's world, I guess, like, they are more aware of mental health. I would
Yes.
like you to share it from your end. What do you think? Has India come to the forefront and given importance to mental health? Let us view mental health from your exposure and experiences that you've had, and your wisdom. Over to you.
Sure. That's a very important question, Andrea, because see, in any walk of life, one need to have that peace of mind to excel. And today, if you ask, our mind is like a gadget only. And over a period of time, the gadget tends to become slow because there is so much of cache into it, unnecessary files into it. So that slows down its performance. Similarly, our head is our mind, our memories are so vulnerable these days. If you keep filling it with something that is not needed, of course, it has to be eliminated. Since we do not know where to hit the pause button, where to hit the delete button, that's where we get into unnecessary issues. Now that we have many ways to come out of it, be it yoga, doing something of your liking, or doing meditation and all, these are all methods. But the primary thing we should understand it, whenever we are using our head, we should try and clear something which is not needed, just like our phone. At least once in a week, go for some kind of a detox thing where you put away everything. You are just on your own for at least half an hour, 40 minutes, you with yourself. You're able to reflect. You're able to understand yourself far deeper. I think people will be able to lead a peaceful life. Today, many of them do not understand themselves. What they understand or what they feel they know about themselves is from the point of view of others. If somebody says that I'm good, I feel I'm good. Somebody says, look, you're not doing a good job, then I say, I'm not doing a good job. But do I know myself really well? Do I know in which context I behave the way I behave? Do I know what are my top emotions? So the more aware one is about oneself, I think then doing a detox will become easier. So mental health hence has taken a real important place in this world. Otherwise, issues were there even in the past also, generations behind, but they knew how to tackle because their lives were very simple. Today, our lives are very complicated. They are wired in a very complicated manner, and we want to stay on top on everything. How is it possible? As human being, you cannot stay on top on everything. You cannot control everything. And we don't want to acknowledge that. The sooner we come to terms that our life is limited on this earth, we should not further shorten it. I think people will start taking notice of this more. And that has become a fashion these days, huh? If you ask me. People talk about mental health. Why do we have to really talk about so much? When it's part of it already, you are supposed to be taking care of each and every organ, including your head, including your mind. So, because everything we do out of our mind only, mind and heart. So, if mind is doing well, heart is also going to do well. Anything. Because every control is here only, in the head. So, I think, yeah, without making it overwhelming, without making it too superficial, I think people should silently understand who they are, understand more about themselves. And I think they will be able to find some peace in their life. If they don't want to judge from others' point of view, I think half of the problem is solved for anybody for that matter.
Thank you so much. You come across as a very intelligent woman. I really like that.
Oh,
Thank you. You've explained that so well, ma'am. From your perspective, I really enjoyed the way you shared that, and I've learned also something from you with regard to the special question concerning mental health. Now, dear, I'd like to ask you something like you are a business excellence strategist. If you are not this in this position or a professional in this zone, what would you have been? If not this, then what?
if not helping people in their business, I would have been still doing something helping people only. I'm not very sure what I would have been doing, but definitely I would have been out there helping people in my own way. Today, I found a structured way to do it. To be very frank, if I would not have been an entrepreneur, I would not have been a business consultant. I would have been still made myself available to help others because I understood that when we have something, we should start sharing. Sharing is caring after all. So we also tend to get lot in return. So I would have been out there doing something, helping people, doing something for back for the society only.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like we all have freedom. India is a free country and we speak of freedom often. I would love to know what are your thoughts and views with regard to freedom?
Absolutely. I mean, people even today say that we do not have freedom in true sense. But at the same time, we know that nothing can stop us. Only our own thoughts can limit us. I think we have, if you ask me, basis my experience all this while in so many years till my journey, I had the freedom to do everything if I put my mind to it. Absolutely. So I don't think we are being limited. Huh? At times, people around us limit. But if we think that that should not limit us, I think we are physically not limited. We are mentally also not limited. We have all the freedom in this world to do it. And we had it since our first day on this earth. Only thing is, we keep forgetting that we have that freedom. We can exercise that freedom. I think we should keep telling ourselves that we are free to do. Only thing is, the direction should be right. When we say we are free to do, our mind is like a monkey; it can do many things. If we have a direction, the sense of direction is on. I think the sky is the limit.
Excellent, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. It was really a pleasure to get to know you as a person, as a professional as well. You know, there's something very special and unique about you. So when I use the word unique, I'd like to ask you, what makes you unique towards the end of the session?
I don't know what makes me unique. I have just a few strong qualities, like being clear-headed, being a little courageous, more than others. I feel. I mean, at least I feel so. I take risks. If that's what makes me unique, maybe that's unique. Otherwise, I don't think that. I mean, I have some super qualities. I'm just like anybody else. Only thing is, I keep exercising what I'm good at. I try to play by my strengths. Maybe that helps me all the time.
Beautifully explained, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here today with us. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and views. Thank you for sharing your professional expertise with us. And I'd love people to connect with you for the right reasons and to avail your services. We'll share your details in the description, how people could get connected with you such that they could, scale up their business and meet the right kind of professionals to, make things easier for them, to make things more manageable for them. If you can't do it alone, you really need someone to plan it out or strategize it out very well for you. And I'm sure if they meet you, I think they will definitely thank this session and they'll thank me for connecting them with you.
I will do my best to help them.
So sweet of you, ma'am. That's really so nice. Ma'am, towards the end, I'd love you to share 3 powerful words with us as a gift to the International Fab Talks. What are those 3 words that come to your mind quickly? The first 3 words, positive words, could be shared with us as a gift to the team and me as well.
I love your smile and I like the work that you do, bringing so many people onto the platform, helping them share their views to the larger audience. I like the absolute positivity in your approach, which I really liked the day one when I had interacted with you. So keep going. I'm loving the way you are doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dia. It's really nice to hear this from you. You have shared that just from your heart. I really thank you so much for giving us that encouragement, which we really require, and the positive feeling the positive vibes that you've shared just now. Thank you so much. We look forward to many more interactions with you, and we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. Thanks for being so courteous, so kind, and polite all through the way, right from the start till date.
Thank you so much, Andrea. It was my pleasure being here, and God bless you.
Thank you, dear, and same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, dear friends, with this, we come to an end now to the International Fab Talks. Before we conclude for today, the session, I'd like you to share this video with the right kind of people. You may never know which person may be inspired by this, who would love to derive inspiration from a woman so powerful within, both on the personal and professional front, very confident when she speaks. We'd love many people to be confident in whatever you do. Be a risk taker. That's what I have learned from ma'am, to be a risk taker, to meet the right kind of professionals who could help you scale up in your personal life or professional life. My dear friends, with this, we'd like to sign off now from the International Fab Talks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment on the International Fab Talks. And above all, take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, your family, and of course, if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or maybe if you're a professional, it's time to do your very best and meet the right kind of people that could help you to take your journey forward. With this, we'd like to sign off. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much.